Hi, I'm back again, and welcome to the second week of this Engender series. This week, we'll be talking about coming out as trans. For me, coming out as transgender was one of the most daunting parts of the transition, as you're forever changing people's perceptions of you, and once you've told people, you can't take it back. So I came out to Marie in February 2014, and that wasn't a planned coming out at all, and it was quite the emotional mess. I then started HRT 6 months later in August 2014, and I didn't go full-time until I'd had FFS 12 months later. In between coming out to my girlfriends and going full-time, there was an 18-month period when I was still presenting male. Now, as I had a plan for my transition, I didn't want to come out too early to people because I didn't want them to question or maybe not think I was taking transition seriously. The first person I told was my business partner and his wife, as they're very close friends of me and my girlfriend. I figured it was probably best to tell my business partner because I spent all day in an office with him, and it also meant that my girlfriend could confide in his wife. I didn't tell my dad until December 2014, so that was 10 months after I'd first come out to my girlfriend. And then I told my brother and his wife in April 2015, so that was like a year and 2 months after I'd first come out to Marie. I told both my dad and my brother in person, as I felt that was the right thing to do. Obviously they were kind of shocked and they didn't really have any questions on the day. So I followed up the conversation with an email explaining, what I'd said in the conversation so that they could, take that away and digest it. I told some other family and friends via messaging them on Facebook. I found Facebook to be quite a useful tool in coming out, as you can kind of spell everything out to people, and again they can take it away and digest it, and it kind of gets away from the awkwardness of telling people face to face, especially if you haven't seen those people in a while. My final coming out was again done via Facebook, but this time with a kind of message to everyone, and that was actually about a month after I'd had FFS. I was very lucky in that I only had, lovely supportive reactions from people. I found the most important thing was to try and emphasize that this was a positive thing for myself, and that it was a good thing and that it would make me happier. So I'd explain straight away in the conversation that I was transgender, and I'd go on to explain what gender identity meant and my background and my history with it all, so that they could see that this wasn't a new thing. I would then reassure them that my relationship with my girlfriend was, still good and still strong, and that, we were happy together, as this tended to be people's, number one concern. I would then go on to explain how I was going to go about my transition and why I was transitioning now. And finally, I would let people ask questions. But as I say, the most important thing is to really stress how this is going to be a positive thing for yourself. In the email I sent my dad and my brother, I included links to resources so they could understand terminology and things like that. I would then also send them links to YouTube videos where they could see kind of happy, well-adjusted trans women, as sometimes the portrayal in the media is not necessarily a positive one. And just really stress how it's a positive thing, and hopefully people will be far more receptive. So if you could like, comment and subscribe, then that would be fantastic, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.